Well, I think it's close enough to 8:30, we'll call the meeting to order, and begin with the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have the agenda before us. Are there any additions or corrections?
I would move to approve. Second.
Motion and second to approve the agenda as printed. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We have minutes from April 6th.
I've read through the minutes, and I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. I'll second it.
Motion and second to approve the minutes as printed. Hearing no comments, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Okay, let's go down below here, and Dean's still here. I'll do the auditor's report, how's that sound?
Okay. We have some revenue come in this month, with some passports, $500 in passports, $30.75 in copy fees, maps and flats, $196, and then we had a refund on some books that I ordered of $75, so the total is $801.75.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion second to approve the quarterly report of the auditor. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. We can do the same for the sheriff's quarterly report here. We have that before us. Dean dropped off this morning.
Yeah,
I got a copy of it. We got copies.
Okay.
$10,442.68 total receipts. There were service fees of $5,966.50 and mileage fees of $2,676.18, and then some concealed weapons permits of $1,800.
Well, sure slowed down, hasn't it, as far as the number of dollars coming in?
Yeah. I'll make a motion to place and file sheriff's quarterly report for March 31st. Second.
Motion second, to place and file the quarterly report of the sheriff. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Okay, do we have any comments from any visitors this morning? Anything you want to say is not on the agenda? If not, Chris, I think you have a discussion item here on these projects. We have a copy of it.
Yeah, they made a copy, I think, of the request in the auditor's office, but I made this, that's more this way here.
I told Chris, give us a little layout picture so you kinda know what he's trying to accomplish here. Thanks, Chris.
Okay. What I have here right now, this is, I bought a farm a couple of years ago, and this is the bin setup. There's some additional bins here, but these are the primary ones it's gonna affect, so I just included those. I have this drive, this is Utah Avenue that goes into Hardy, and this is the driveway that I have here now. Well, this bin site, I suppose, was built back in the 60s or 70s, and, you know, it was designed for tractors and wagons. Well, I have semis, and so when I go to come in here, I cannot make the turn with the tractor and the trailer with the semi to get in line with these to dump. Then once I get in here, there is another bin here, I can't make the swing around to get back out.
Right.
So what I wanted to do was to put another driveway right up here at the northern edge of my property, so that when I came in here with the tractor and trailer, you can make the turn and be in proper alignment with the bins, and then you know, make the swing out to drive out the other driveway and stuff. But when I went in to get the approval, I don't know, something about that there's there's only one driveway there now, but those two together, so I needed to come before you guys to get an exemption for it, yeah.
And you want a 50-footer then, is that what?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Whatever they would allow me to have so that I could, you know, get in there with tractors and trailers and stuff.
Right. Rock, it's a new one. Are you gonna have them put it in?
I was just gonna have them do it so it was right.
I think if you were gonna have them, I'm all for it, because The big thing when there's a little bit of an upgrade, if they can get the taper right so the water drains out and doesn't go back to the road, I don't see any problem.
Yep.
I looked at it this weekend, Rick's probably been by it.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, 'cause when you come with those semis, you'll make a nice turn bend there. Coming in this way, you can't hardly get around there. I don't know how you're doing it now without backing it almost.
Well, and I've only had it for 2 years, and the first year I didn't have enough corn to fill them, so I was 13, so I think everybody can understand that.
Sounded like, oh, yeah.
So last year, all we did was fill them, and I had to drive clear out into my field to make the route
sure.
and seed stuff, so.
I've been out there, but I see no pipe required.
Yeah, I see that, no pipe.
That's what they told me.
Yeah.
They said it was up on the hill rise there, and so.
Well, that'll be even better. That way you can get that taper off into the ditches instead of onto the road, so.
So that's what I'm looking at.
I'll make a motion to approve the driveway for Chris Morgan.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the driveway for Chris Morgan as presented to us. Any discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay. We got the other report. Review claims. You guys had a chance to review the claims.
Yeah, we're
Okay, go ahead.
Claims were $230,050.78, and drainage with, let's see, the drainage was $27,115.90.
Did you say
Approve.
270, did you say, or?
The first one was
Okay,
$230,050.28.
There we go.
okay. That sounds-
You got the second one there?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll second.
Here we have a motion to approve the claim as stated, both drainage and general claims. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Claims are approved. Okay, we finished the schedule here for 9 o'clock.
Committee?
We just won't get a report.
I guess so. Figured I better get ready for you. All right, I guess this last week on Wednesday the 9th, Carl and I went to Corn Belt meeting down in Starlight at Fort Dodge at 9:30. And we had coffee and visited with people from Corn Belt and local area RECs. So, and there's more than just Humboldt County, which is Jefferson now, Midland. And they made us feel welcome, and then we had a business meeting in the morning, which was very good, interesting. We had a good year, and talked about the changing trends in electricity, and I think there's more consolidating coming on, Carl. You can kind of touch on that. And then we had lunch. We talked to Melissa Reinhold a little bit, had a nice visit with her, and then I couldn't stay for the speaker in the afternoon, so Carl can touch on that. And then Wednesday night at 6:30, we had an EOC meeting with Pat and his board members, and we went over some details and items that night, so. That's all I had.
Monday morning, had the LEC, we had a few bills to pay, claims, our budget's looking good, it's, below where it should be, so that was good, and then, Wednesday evening, I had, the EOC also, with a discussion with the, Emergency Management Committee. That's it for me.
Yeah, I just had the work session with Wednesday night with, Pat.
Hey, the 8th, Wednesday the 8th, I had an Iowa Drainage District meeting in Pocahontas. I guess the major thing there, one of several things. One is the pipeline update. They're supposedly gonna have, what do you wanna call it, a resolution that they can give to the counties of, what they can pass, similar to what Webster County has done for, tile lines and so forth, where that pipeline's going across.
To protect the tiles.
Kind of give them some ideas of what's going on. The legislative update, everything we were asked for is going through the legislature just fine. And then at 10 o'clock, we had, the SAC, Buena Vista, and Calhoun County, supervisors there, and we talked about the pending lawsuit and how we were gonna try to work together in fundraising for that, lawsuit. So, sometime today, their attorney and, Doug Strite, the IDDA attorney, is gonna get together and develop a game plan of who's taking the lead and when they want our support and so forth.
Good.
They felt that the letter that we sent out was gonna, they used the term suck all the air out of the room so they wouldn't get any money. Well, I mean, why would we collect money and not use it for that defense? That was the purpose, so there's a misunderstanding there. And I think we got everything resolved. Supervisor Heck from, Sac County just thought that, they should take the lead and we should be in a subservient position, but we felt that, you know, they just got a handful of districts. If they cave in because of lack of money, it affects everybody, so we wanna be a part of it. So we got another meeting this Thursday and see where we're at on that. So then maybe after that, next week, I can tell Peggy to put it on the agenda. Apparently 3 counties have, agreed to give the 3 years, $5,000 each year for 3 years so far, so if we get that resolved, today in our meeting next, Thursday, we can probably send out a letter, a joint letter with their signature and IDDA's signature, we're all on the same page, and let people know what's going on.
Well, I think it's good you're getting cleared up some of that. I know Caldonis called me and asked what we were gonna do, and I told him you were having this meeting. He said, why don't you just hold off till we have this meeting? I think you wanna get clarity where the money's gonna funnel in, so everybody's on the same page, and then if every county participates, if they know others are participating, they'll get a better job of getting everybody involved, so.
Well, I got a text message from, John, he had a meeting with, Dean Limke and the organization he's working with now, and there's a lot of those, larger organizations that are wanting to support the lawsuit, so hopefully we can all get on the same page and, get that thing straightened out, so.
You know, the newspaper's pretty in favor of us for a while. This morning's paper, I think, is pretty negative about the nitrate raises. I know, tremendous increase since 1950, right on the front page of the Des Moines Register. So we're starting to get blasted again.
And it's it'll be that way back and forth, yeah.
Also papers.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right, two angles, I think it's, yeah.
Okay, I was also, Wednesday, I went down to Humboldt with Jerry, business meeting, and one of the things I came away from the business meeting, they talked about the future goals, what they'd like to do. Right now, we got 4% production by wind energy, 4% of Corn Belt's power is generated by wind, and are hoping to have 10% by 2020, 20% by 2030, and 35% by 2050. But he said they'd have to have a lot of federal money in order to get that. It's very costly, I guess, so that's kind of what they're shooting for, is to increase wind.
Sounds to me like there'd be a windmill everywhere.
Every corner.
If they go to 30.
Well, you know, Carl, and I think the reason one of the highlights I heard during the business meeting, that why they're encouraged to do this is the coal regulations, you know, the Clean Air Act, that's costing $1 million to retrofit what coal plants are using. And somewhere in that meeting, they talked about that Blaine Arnold, nuclear plant thing, and their cost to I don't wanna say decommission, but accelerate that, the nuclear part of it. It was millions of dollars just to take care of the process when it's no longer used, so I think the costs for some of these other energies are so high that they're hoping the wind will be a little more friendly, so.
You know, some people fight that when they say there's noise out their backyard, but I can't see it's that objectionable really, but I guess I don't live under a windmill. That's a reoccurring energy, it looks like something we ought to be ready for. In the afternoon, we had Andrew Bush, he worked at CNN News, he was a highlight speaker, kind of a motivator type guy, talking about the economy, those kind of things, talking about the importance of global markets, and how we need to keep working on it to get rid of our product. He talked about China, for example. China is only 10% arid land so you can raise crops, and half of that is covered by pollution. So we have to have policy to keep feeding those people over there, they can't raise it themselves. I didn't realize China was that bad a shape. And then we talked about the economy and watching the markets go up and down. He said, why don't you just sit back and watch the markets? Every year, the first quarter of the year, you're gonna have bad markets. I had studied that, you kind of hear some calls through and see, everything's doom and gloom in the first quarter, and after that it gets better, according to this guy anyway. Talk about foreign policy, and one of the three more important things he said as far as our policy and hearing presidential candidates run, tax reform, trade agreements with, and highway funding. Those are the three biggest needs, according to him, that we have in the U.S. right now. Tax refund, highways, and foreign trade. So, anyway, he's kind of an interesting speaker. Here's his little resume, if he wants to look at it. And then Wednesday evening, I also met with, down at EMC with our commission. And Thursday afternoon, I got a call from Pat Caldwell. I wanted to know if I'd come watch. He had a program up at South Care Center. He gave a little 20-minute, half-hour PowerPoint presentation on tornadoes and what they should do. And evidently, he'd been there before because they all do it and talked about the evacuation and so forth. Did a great job. I don't know if he goes around to all the nursing homes and does that thing. He's well received and did a good job. That was the extent of my meetings for the week, Peggy.
Okay.
Okay, I think we covered everything until 9 o'clock. Do you have anything for us, Peggy? Anything we should know about?
Nope, things are going smoothly, so.
The rest of the items on the agenda are 9 o'clock, 9:15, and 9:30 with drainage. So I guess we would have to take a little recess here.
Short break.
Recess till 9 o'clock.
I guess.
rock over the top, and it won't take it.
And like you say, now the tubes are...
I kinda jumped the gun, we've already done the driveway before, I think Rick, Paul has some things he wanted to discuss with us, tell us about it. Paul?
As far as the driveway was policy. Our policy is, some restrictions on the driveway. If it doesn't meet policy, our responsibilities from the engineering department is to deny it, and then the landowner or the requester can always come and appeal to the board, and that's exactly what he did. So that's the discussion there. More importantly, or as importantly, is we are going to continue back in Humboldt County now with EC Source, with some concrete trucks rolling on gravel roads, more specifically 210th and Port. 210th is a mile north of Highway 3. They're gonna begin that on the north end of drag strip. I think they're gonna start drilling this afternoon and probably, do the littler ones before the big ones. There's three there left. Another big one that they're moving in for is west of Foster Bridge and south on Port. That'll involve, roughly a quarter mile of our gravel getting to their access. And the roads are starting to heal up somewhat, but I don't know how they'll handle repeated concrete, loads and whatever, but that's what we request, and we, ask anybody hauling corn or anything to watch the roads. If you start losing it, I would, encourage you to, wait, for some heat and dry, and we might get that this week even. Might get rain on Wednesday also.
So how many loads of concrete does it take to fill that hole?
The first one on 210th is a smaller one. They're just the straight line poles, 45 yards, I think. I don't know for sure on this. But the ones on Port, these terminals, they're 10-foot diameters. They're bigger ones. The biggest that I heard was the one up in Cassuth County was just under 400 yards. But I don't know what this is in the river bottom. You don't know either, Dave, do you? But he sent, they're just leading into it. I know they wanna move, they pulled off of that up off the drag strip now for a couple of weeks.
I heard that road's 160 feet deep too, is that?
Well, it's a terminal, the one big one's a terminal up there, so that'll involve hundreds of yards, I don't know how many.
Yeah.
And as soon as we start pumping that across the road, that's where we're
said it was 160 feet deep. I think there's a double ring of, you know, how those support rings are. I think there's one inside this unit plus one outside it. I mean, it must be a massive thing to put together.
Poles look like dwarfs, doesn't it?
It does. They're huge.
But then they're behind them hanging and putting the poles up, the metal structures up. Ralph, I'll quit playing with my, change.
So do they use a helicopter with a guy on a rope to hang some stuff?
Well, I don't know about a guy on a rope.
Well, that's what they were telling Drill was.
You'll have to watch, I don't know, the helicopter wasn't available. When they were getting ready to use it in Cassuth County, they pulled it for another project
Okay.
But I'm assuming you'll see it somewhere along the line, and they use a tether with the helicopter. The tether pulls through a rope. Once you get it tethered, then they pull a rope through, and then the rope pulls the larger cable through, and that's all.
I think he was hanging the pulleys and everything, they were saying, there was a guy out there hanging.
Well, the pulleys are going up with the poles.
That's what I thought.
You can see them as they're tilting them up, but I don't get too close to any of this, I stay away. So,
I can see why.
you're welcome, but I keep my distance. That's what I had, and
Thanks, Paul.
You bet.
Thought we jumped the gun on that.
That's fine. That's your prerogative.
I think we're ready to go to drainage, then. Entertain a motion for the drainage.
I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor going drainage, say aye.
Aye.
We are in drainage, 9 o'clock. We'll get Rick and everything here. I think that helicopter was up there. According to Grant, we talked about watching it work.
Somebody said that was quite a sight.
Had a big plank and it's hanging away. I think that...
They're young and done. Must be quite a...
Anybody see the helicopter running?
It's amazing how big those poles look next to those up there. I mean,
No, I said the H poles were big, when these here, man, they're like toothpicks.
And you see how far over the road those big pipes hang? Oh, they're big.
That was years ago, there was storm came through, and wiped a whole bunch of poles out down south. west and south of
Yeah, I
Fort
know.
Dodge.
I just
I think there was, I think there was 14 of them went down, and they were $1,000,000 a piece. They said,
It's like
"It's coming,
down-
if that's
So $1,000,000 a pole, isn't that pretty far along?
No.
Probably not.
Well, Rick and Trish are both in there.
Yeah, they're both in there.
How long do you think this will be in the county? When are you gonna get out of here?
Oh, it'll be here for all
year.
Summer.
I think it'll be in the fall.
Next fall, I think.
Probably.
Morning, Rick and
Oh,
Trish.
good morning.
We are ready, we're waiting your arrival.
Okay.
We gotta start with DD two main and lateral, set classification, set public hearing date.
Okay. This is for DD2 main and lateral I. You'll see that there's a shaded part to the right. That's for lateral I. And I'll give you a map too, so you know what you're dealing with for areas.
A lot of landowners out there.
Oh, yes, lots. This is an aerial photograph that shows the improvements are on there, and what we have is an area that both the main and lateral I people pay on, and I've shaded that in blue. You can pick that out. The lower part of the main, outlets for the main and for lateral I. So, everybody helps pay for that. Then the area I've circled in the green, light green or lime green, that is the lateral I watershed, the green circled area. So the improvements in that area are paid for by the people in the watershed for lateral I. The area I've circled in pink, that's the area that will pay, they're paying for the main work, not for the lateral I work. So this one is a bit confusing. If you just think of it as everybody shares in the main, and lateral I pays for lateral I. That's the basic way to present it, I guess I'd say.
That blue is the main end, blue.
Yeah, the main and lateral I both drain through that blue stretch. Little over a section long, and that's, you could look at it as a common outlet or whatever, but it's really just part of the main, lateral I, and the main use as an outlet, so. I looked at one or two of the fairly high ones in lateral I for their total assessment, and it came out just over $300 an acre. Now, we had told them from the beginning the average was gonna be about $250 an acre. So looking at the high end being just over 300, I thought that was pretty good. Now, the people that are just in the main, they'll pay less than $100 an acre average, because someday in the future, they may want to improve the main further up. Lateral I won't be helping them pay. So they're paying drastically less than people in lateral I, so.
Okay.
It's not like in the city.
Oh, well.
There was when I looked at the range in lateral I, there was one that was just $160, but that's because they're not getting a lot of benefit. So it's a lot to digest, I know. The idea today is to present this, and set a hearing date, and then it will be made available, to the landowners, and notice will have to go out. This is one of those hearings that you have to have a minimum of 40 days notice. And it'd be a matter of working with Trish as far as timing, if just over 40 days is enough. The other thing is that gonna put us right in the middle of planting?
Like June 1st, or June, yeah.
Yeah, if you did something like that.
Maybe the second weekend of June, maybe, or the second week, let's
First day, Monday.
Yeah, there you go. Too bad we can't put that.
Like June 8th?
Yeah, I'd go at least that far out.
Yeah, there's no deciding on anything today, it's just, here it is. Yeah, here's kind of what we did, and the date. Right, that's right.
All right. I'll make a motion that we accept the reclassification and set the hearing date for DD two, main and lateral one, and that would be June 8th at 8:45 or 9, what do you want?
It's up to you.
8:45.
Okay, we have a motion to set the hearing classification date, hearing at June 8th at 8:45.
I'll second Jerry's motion.
Second. Any other discussion? I think Rich did a good job telling us what's up. Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Just a matter of curiosity, on the paint boundary layer, that old tile, what is the coefficient of that approximately?
Some of it's as low as an 8, but some, it's, yeah.
It needs to be updated if they want.
I think it's gonna happen sometime, and that's another reason to have the difference in the, we were not way above
So
the
when we
average.
get this main then, where it ties in, it'll handle
Yes.
whatever they...
Whatever they do, yes, yep. Correct, good point.
What's the total acreage out there?
Yeah, we've got it on there, under the main. Yeah, to print it like this, she couldn't put the headings on each line, so you have to kind of look back at which line is which.
Which line to look at?
I know, average acres. For the main, there's a little over 4,000 acres. Keep in mind, this is just for the tile of Maine. The DD2 open ditch is way, way, way bigger, but this is just for the tile.
Motion up, we move along to the next item here at 9:15, we have DD 11, a set classification and set hearing date.
Okay, here's the report with dollar amounts in it. This goes back to for a cleanout that was done, as a way to pay for that. This is nearly entirely on soils for benefit. 11 has so many tile laterals and ditch laterals, and everybody is pretty well served. You know, if somebody was 2 miles from it with no access, we would have probably done some reduction, but, not in this case. Average benefit, I don't think there's any drastic differences in average benefit. Is that a number? $55 to $80 range, here's an 86.
Nothing real bad.
And here's an average benefit of 33, now that's a tract, so it's probably an acreage that sets up high. The good thing about a project like this, nobody has a very big assessment when you spread it out over this many people. I mean, look at the dollars. 193, 208, 115. I mean, the high one's just...
Secondary roads got assessed pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Let's get some goodies, don't we?
They end up with so many acres. Is that under Humboldt County?
Humboldt County.
Yeah, see, that really adds up. Yeah, that's the deal.
It's amazing that the roads take up that much space.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. So same thing with this, other than we don't have all the confusing laterals to worry about. This is just for the open ditch. It's spreading, we end up spreading for this one. $110,000 is what we spread out for cost. The final number will depend on what Trish has for cost in it to date, and interest to date, and all of that, so. At the last page, the way the bottom right corner has the total levy that we have used for spreading to get approximate cost for everybody.
You wanna do that the same day?
Doesn't hurt.
How long do you think the first one will take, half hour, or more?
Oh, no.
I think there'll be some discussion.
There'll be some discussion, yeah. I'm hoping we can get most of the answers taken care of ahead of time, and that's what we'll encourage. I think at least a half hour, maybe 45 minutes.
So that makes it up to 9:50?
9:30.
9:30?
I'll move for 9:30.
I think that's not a bad idea.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the classification for hearing for DD 11 for June 8th at 9:30. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, we will have that hearing on the same day as DD 2. You think we need to wait till 9:30 for the next one? Anybody here wants to discuss it?
I'd be surprised if, we're just bringing it to give to you to set a hearing date.
Let's move along and discuss DD 6 and
Branch B. Let's see, I think I got a map in the back of this. Yes. This is down just northwest of Thor. It's where there've been some problems with the, pipes in the ditch, and you cleaned off a tree line a few years ago. I don't think the map in the back.
So we had a tree line over the tile?
Yes.
Yeah.
In a fence, yeah.
That fun loving one, that.
Yeah, so you've had to deal with this some in the past. In the very back, we show the proposed new main. These will outlet into an open ditch on the west side of the road. Now, depending on which option they decide on, we can use one of the pipes under the road now, or we have to add a new one. So I'll go through those as far as what's involved. But, basically, for the main tile, we're gonna go diagonal, and eliminate that one that you had tree line over the top of.
That would be a good
Yeah,
plan.
yep. And then, so branch B then will be by itself, and we'll go north and replace everything on the east side. There's a lot of blowouts happening in the road ditch, east road ditch for that branch.
So we'll get that out of the way from the road.
Yes, we're gonna put it in the edge of the field. Yeah, have some cover on it. There's
Yeah.
just, you've probably been out there, so.
It's been a
The ditch would be pretty shallow.
Yeah, yeah, it's real shallow. Now, if we can shorten that branch B a little bit, and find some good pipe before we get that far north, we will, but we've allowed for going all the way north. So,
Because the longevity of what's left there, where we've cleaned out over that tile can't be all that, it's gonna continue to be a problem.
that's right. It is.
So they're gonna wanna consider that half or inch pretty hard,
Yes.
because I think what's out there's not gonna be there in another 20 years.
Right.
I mean,
I think you're
you
absolutely
can say
right.
you're gonna maintain it, but
Yeah.
when we've had people out there to fix this, it's getting so costly to repair it.
Yeah.
At some point, you're gonna have to abandon it, I would think.
That's right, that's right. And when I was out there last year, looking at it with the landowners, there were several sinkholes in the road ditch then again.
I mean, I think part of your discussion that day should be, do you want us to continue to try and maintain this portion, Or do you wanna consider the cost, every time that fills up or blows out, that cost keeps adding to it? As a landlord, if I put in a new pipe and I find out I'm gonna get repairs every year on this other one, it would become frustrating.
Yes, it would. And there's areas up above, in the upper part of this main tile, that's set, they tell me, for weeks at a time, because the tile's in such bad shape.
And they've gotta be getting full of dirt, so I'm saying if it's that costly to keep repairing that,
Yeah.
maybe we abandon it now so we don't have to keep repairing it.
Put that money towards the improvement.
I don't know,
Yeah.
that's something that should be brought up.
I really think that's gonna be the push the person should make.
I've never looked at it that way before, but it seems to me
Yeah,
like
this
as much
one is-
trouble as we've
yeah.
had.
This one is really that way, where there's been ongoing maintenance
Yeah,
on
it's
a
shallow,
regular
you've seen some of
basis.
that too, it's pretty shallow
How many
places.
times we visited that?
No, doesn't reflect the number of, repairs you've made, no. It's
But I think the most
repairs that-
concerning thing, Carl, is like every time we repaired it, we're getting more amounts of dirt in some of that. I just wonder how much dirt load that thing's carrying too.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
And then the other thing is when you tie in plastic and tile and you're trying to mismatch all this
you
stuff.
don't get good
And you don't know what's left out there.
Right. So we went through, what we did is we went through cost estimates for branch B, half-inch, branch B, 1-inch. And when there's no grant money involved,
Yeah.
the cost doesn't go up very much going from the, half-inch to the 1-inch. In the middle of page 3, we have the average cost per acre for the half-inch for branch B, $315. And then if you go to the next page, to jump that up to 1-inch, jumps it less than $100 to $409 an acre. So, again, we will encourage the 1-inch, of course, because you get way more drainage for the dollars involved. Then we looked at the main, yeah,
So then this old tile off to the east will tie into that and the main.
yeah.
So which direction do we go here with, I mean, where's the water getting out at, down to the south? No, to the...
There's culverts under the road now, there's
Okay,
a surface
so we're
water.
going south and west with it, right?
Yes,
Okay.
over into the open ditch. Now, what happens, I think it's the main, when you jump up to the 1-inch, we end up having to use more pipe because we get bigger than the existing pipe under the road.
That's what I was wondering, if you go, that's
the...
then...
If we go with the half-inch, we can stay with the 36-inch that's under the road now. But if we go to the 1-inch, we have to go to a 48, and we have to come south of that culvert and put a new one across.
One bright spot, though, when you go to explain this to the landowners, where we're putting this new main, if they would go with an inch, they're receiving, all the outer tile is coming into a whole newer part of the system.
Yes.
Now, if we were putting these out here on the ends, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, but when I look at this and see how much water load's coming into these two new...
Tremendous amount of water.
Their bang for the
Yeah.
buck could be the inch on this one.
Yes, I really think, I think that the inch would pay on both of these.
Look at that one, the one off to the east, you got
Pretty
three
short,
lines, you got
too.
three tile lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a
It
short
is.
distance.
But just to have that
It does.
part and get that tile, that whatever need repaired, way out in the field, away from the road and stuff,
Yes.
that tree line.
Oh, yeah, they've gained for 100 years here, I mean, it's, yeah.
They might be able to maintain the outer tile pretty reasonably, without replacing that, as long as this main area is working right.
Oh, yes, or they can do some
But you still have
fiber.
a 26 coming in there, and then a 24, I mean, this is pretty good tile.
There's a lot of tile coming in. Well, and we get it out far enough, some of these people can do some private tiling if they want to, and really help themselves too, so.
Okay.
But so for the main tile, there's, I think there's more acres there, and it's, to get the cost down.
Is that old tile you got, is that still in use? You got the old tile...
Oh, I don't really know.
Hanging around this other,
I think some of it's still in use from what
that's
people
what I
have
was
told me.
wondering, if you, made connections there with crisscross?
Well, we're
Or
gonna,
not?
we'll find it if it's there when we do what we're talking about here. Yeah, I don't know, I've been told it's still there.
Did you do that project, the dotted line one there, from the,
Going east?
going east, yeah? That's the road where it goes kinda,
we've been out there with ditch work, but we haven't, I don't know that we've done any tile there.
I mean, you didn't design that.
No. And that south main, I think it's listed Main, that comes out south of the other crossings and has a separate pipe into the ditch.
I wondered if you're maxing that out a little bit.
Because you're dumping a lot into
You're
it.
digging out there, this would be the time to fix that under the road, and be done with it, even though it's so fast.
So, how about that section of open ditch
That's,
to the west?
will take no more than a mile, and we recommend that just be an hourly type project.
Oh, you
So-
just open it up where it feeds in?
Yes, there's some silt, not very far downstream, but it looks like if we go up to a mile, which won't cost much.
Which there should be some silt for all the blowouts.
That's right,
There should be
exactly.
in that first
And there
mile.
is.
Yeah.
So how will that be assessed?
That'll be based on DD6 open ditch
Right.
classification, which was done not that long ago, I mean, as far as drainage.
Could that still be a repair possibly?
Yes.
I mean, that wouldn't
That's, a
necessarily...
repair would do it, yeah. And whether, you should probably just get that on the agenda here sometime to authorize an hourly clean out of the...
Right, but get that done.
Yes.
Before they get started.
Yeah, yep. So, yeah, the main, that gets down to, for the half inches, just over $200 an acre average. And for the 1 inch, $262, so that's not bad.
Got a question for you.
You bet.
When you go north along the east side of that road,
Yep.
then what, is that old cement tile going underneath the road, or is it old clay?
I
Do you
think
know?
it's cement, from what people have told me, but
Okay.
I wouldn't stake my life on it.
All
Kind
right.
of interesting, look at that history, established in 1904.
Yeah.
And in 1917, they had improvements in cleanouts.
Yeah, isn't that something? Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. And we've had them where they cleaned it out, ditches out the very next year, because the initial erosion just was horrible, but...
Well, you can see why they have improvements too. Somebody put in tile, hey, this really works, maybe we should've went a little farther.
Oh, yes. So this will be another one, a 40-day requirement, needs to be published, so,
Same day?
works for me. We have a
As
drainage
well.
place.
How many feet across?
June?
June.
You got 8 feet in 930.
Well, that second one shouldn't take long.
No, I don't look for much input there. It's inexpensive,
Yeah.
and that seems to control how many people show up, you know.
9:45?
9:45?
That's right.
I think we can.
Yeah, I think we probably would.
That's
All
it.
right.
Make that a motion. Accept the preliminary engineering report.
Set the hearing date.
We're putting approve and accept, right, on all them, Trish?
Approve and accept.
I'll second that motion.
For
I'll second.
9:45, seconded by,
Jerry.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Okay, we got 3 hearings coming up, bang, 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 in June 8th.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
all right, though.
What else you got for us, Rick?
You've authorized an hourly clean out of DD7 open ditch lateral 1. That's, east of, Bradgate, about 4 or 5 miles. A piece of it runs along the north side of the road.
Oh, okay.
And Rick Peterson was just in here, and he's thinking the very lower part probably doesn't even need anything as you get a little further up goes. So he's gonna let the water go down and then he'll get started in there. Last week, we did receive the letters from FSA saying that it's okay to put the dirt on the spoil on the CRP ground.
Good.
So that's been handled. And in the same letter, we asked people to get that permission. We said that there'd be digging on site and they'd warn them about the spoil and, so that's all been arranged, so that'll be, as soon as he's ready to get in there, he can go ahead and shouldn't be a problem there. We had a pre-construction meeting on DD 125, the new project north and east of Gilmore, that big one. Coordinated things with Cretex, the pipe supplier, and the contractor.
They're gonna be separate bids.
Yep. So, Cretex knows they have to get it within 50 feet. We've warned them.
What, unloading the pipe?
Yeah, we've warned them, we're not gonna put up with that.
You're gonna have somebody on site there when they start unloading them?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll be there every day, at least some, to spot check everything. And what was the other thing with the pipe? Oh, they're notorious for double billing pipe. Possibly accidental, but it's just how it's ended up.
Trouble with that.
Yeah.
Direct billing to the contractor, well.
Well, we get billings that we couldn't differentiate, is this a new ship load, or is it from a previous load? 2 or 3 years ago, there were 2 loads they sent from Des Moines to Humboldt, we got a bill, and then when they took it from the Humboldt plant, and then when they took it from the Humboldt plant to the job, we got a bill for them again. So, and DD 2, the one we're just wrapping up,
We had issues out there.
oh, there was 1,000 feet of 60-inch pipe doubled up. And I think that was because of the damaged pipe, and they didn't credit that back somehow, but we did get it resolved. So they're gonna try a system where we get this report weekly of what's been delivered, and we can verify it then.
Was it Humboldt spray paint, something on those
From Des Moines clear to the site then, when they build, since you got done?
Well, that's, we had gotten it the Des Moines plant sent...
Called it delivered, and
Yeah.
then they dropped it in Humboldt, and Humboldt rebuilt it when they delivered it from Humboldt down there.
That's right, yeah.
Did they rebuild it clear from Des Moines to,
Yes.
to the site?
Well, they built it to Humboldt County when it came from Des Moines to
Yeah.
Humboldt, to the plant, and then they built the county again when it left the Humboldt plant to go to the job, so. They're so big, it could've just happened.
Well, you almost could spray paint numbers or something on the loads or watches.
Well, and
Something needs to be a little more accountable.
Contractors often will spray a number on them too.
That's what they should be doing.
Yeah, to keep tally of it. And we got enough pipe changes, we'll try and have it worked out with each pipe change as we go, so we don't have it at the end.
So then, stuff with Mark Dickey's coming along good?
Yes, NRC